Hello students, I am Manoj Kundare, the Assistant Professor of Electronic Science. Welcome back to our e-learning platform. In previous video, we have completed the unit first of this subject. The link of the previous video is available in the description box. Please check it. Now, in this video, we are going to start the second unit of the subject named as bipolar junction transistor. A bipolar junction transistor or a BJT is a three terminal electronic device that amplifies the flow of current. It is a current control device. In bipolar junction transistor, electric current is conducted by both free electrons and holes. That means, in short, we can say that a BJT is an electronic device which is of having three terminals and it is a current control device. In BJT, the current is flow by electrons as well as by holes. Unlike a normal PN junction diode, the transistor has the two PN junction. That means the BJT has the two PN junctions. Let's see the types of bipolar junction transistor or BJT. The bipolar junction transistors are formed by sandwiching either N-type or P-type semiconductor layer between pairs of opposite polarity semiconductor layers. Bipolar junction transistors are classified into two types based on their construction, such as NPN and PNP. That means the transistor is formed by sandwiching a layer between two same layers. That means NPN transistor is formed by sandwiching P-type semiconductor layer between two N-type semiconductor layers. Similarly, PNP transistor is formed by PNP transistor is formed by sandwiching N-type semiconductor layer between two P-type semiconductor layers. I hope you all understand the construction of the NPN and PNP semiconductor layer. Let's see once again. In NPN transistor, when a single P-type layer is sandwiched between two N-type layers, the transistor is said to be NPN transistor. This single P-type layer is sandwiched between two N-type layers, and these three terminals are emitter, base, and collector. This is the symbol of NPN transistor. Okay, in this symbol, the arrow is shown in outward direction. Okay, in PNP transistor, when single N type layer is sandwiched between two P type layers, then the transistor is said to be PNP transistor. That means this N type semiconductor layer is sandwiched between two P type semiconductor layers. The three terminals are emitter, base, and collector. This is the symbol of the PNP transistor, and the arrow is in inward direction. Okay, I hope you all understand. Let's see once again the NPN transistor. NPN transistor. That means the P-type semiconductor layer is sandwiched between two N-type semiconductor layers. It has three terminals, 1, 2, and 3. This terminal is called as emitter, this is base, and this terminal is collector. Similarly, we can construct PNP transistor such as N-type semiconductor layer is sandwiched between two P-type semiconductor layer. Okay, like that. It has also three terminals. This terminal is emitter, this is base, and this is collector. Its symbol is like that. This middle is base terminal, this is the collector terminal, and this is the emitter terminal. The arrow is always placed on the emitter, and in NPN transistor it is in downward direction or in outward direction. This is the symbol of NPN transistor, while the symbol of PNP transistor is similar. That means this is the base, this is collector, and this is emitter, but the direction of the arrow is opposite. That means in inward direction. Okay, this is the symbol of PNP transistor. I hope now you all understand the construction and the symbol of NPN and PNP transistor. Now, let's see the terminals of the bipolar junction transistors. The first is emitter. As the name suggests, the emitter section supplies the charge carriers. The emitter section is heavily doped so that it can inject a large number of charge carriers into the base. The size of the emitter is always greater than the base. That means the emitter is heavily based and its size is greater than base but less than collector. The next terminal is base. The middle layer is called as base. The base of the transistor is very thin as compared to the emitter and collector, and it is very lightly doped. That means base is the area which has the smaller area than emitter and collector, and it is very lightly doped. The next terminal is the collector terminal. Okay, the function of the collector is to collect charge carriers. It is moderately doped. That is, the doping level of the collector is in between emitter and base. The size of the collector is always greater than emitter and the base. The collector area in the transistor is considerably larger than the emitter area. That means the collector has the greatest surface area than emitter and base, and it is moderately doped. That means its doping concentration is greater than the base and less than the emitter. That means we can construct the transistor such as this is the emitter area, the base is very small, and collector has the large area. This is the emitter terminal, this is the base terminal, and this is the collector terminal. Emitter, base, and collector. We know that the emitter is heavily doped, the base is lightly doped, and collector is moderately doped. This is the actual construction of any BJT. Now, let's see the transistor biasing modes. The transistor biasing modes, that means how we can apply a supply to the BJT. There are mainly three operating modes or the biasing modes of the transistor: saturation mode, active mode, and cutoff mode. Okay, here is one another mode is given: inverted active. In saturated mode, emitter based junction is forward bias and collector based junction is also forward bias. In active region, emitter based junction is forward bias while the collector based junction is reverse bias. In invert active mode, the emitter based junction is reverse bias and collector based junction is forward bias. In cutoff region, the emitter based junction and the collector based junction both are the reverse bias. Let's see once again. In saturation mode, both the junction are forward bias. In this mode, the transistor the closed switch. The transistor works as the closed switch. Okay, in active mode, that means emitter based junction forward bias and collector based junction reverse bias, it is used as an amplifier. And in cutoff mode, both the junction are in reverse bias mode. In this condition, the transistor is used as an open switch. I hope you all understand the biasing modes of the transistor. If the transistor is in operating active mode, it can be used as an amplifier. The transistor can be used as a logical switch if operates in cutoff and saturation mode. Now, let's see the unbiased NPN transistor. When no voltage is applied to a transistor, it is said to be an unbiased transistor. That means when no any external supply or voltage is applied to a transistor, then it is called as the unbiased condition. At the left side of the N region, emitter, and the right side of the N region, collector, free electrons are the majority charge carriers and holes are the minority charge carriers. While in the P region or in the base, holes are the majority charge carriers and free electrons are the minority charge carriers. Due to their recombination at the junction, depletion layer is formed. That means here we can see that the unbiased NPN transistor where this area is emitter, this is base, and this is collector. Okay, a emitter is made up of n type semiconductor material. We know that in n type semiconductor material electrons are the majority charge carriers. Similarly here electrons are the majority charge carriers, but in p type semiconductor material holes are the majority charge carriers. This is the junction of this p and n region. Hence here is a depletion layer is formed across this region. Similarly, this is the junction of this p type and n type. Hence here is a depletion layer is formed due to the recombination of ions. I hope you all understand the process here. Okay, let's see once again the NPN transistor. There are two PN junction. This is the first PN junction and this is the second PN junction. Okay, this is the depletion area across emitter and base, and this is the depletion area or the depletion layer across the base and collector. I hope you all understand. Now let's see the working of NPN transistor. As shown in the diagram, the base emitter junction is forward biased while the collector base junction is reverse biased. That means this is the base emitter junction. Okay, this is the base emitter junction. It is forward bias means p type terminal is connected with the positive terminal of the battery and n type material is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. That means this junction is forward bias. Okay, similarly the base collector junction is reverse bias. That means the p type terminal is connected to the negative terminal of the battery and n type material is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. That means this junction is reverse bias. Hence this arrangement is used in the transistor as an amplifier. Okay, I hope you all understand. The forward bias voltage VEB is small as compared to the reverse bias voltage VCB. That means VCB is greater than VEB. The collector is always connected to the positive supply. That means this collector is connected to the positive terminal of the battery and the base is connected to the negative terminal of the battery for controlling the on-off states of the transistor. Let's see the working. The emitter of the NPN transistor is heavily doped. Okay, this emitter is heavily doped. When the forward bias is applied across the emitter, the majority charge carriers move towards the base. That means when we apply a forward bias across the junction, that means when we apply VEB, then these electrons are travel towards the base. Okay, then the electrons enter into the p type material and combine with the holes. These electrons are enter into the p type material and combine with these holes. The base of the NPN transistor is lightly doped, due to which only few electrons are combined with the holes and constitutes the base current. That means let's see once again. Okay, this is the diagram, and in this diagram emitter base junction is forward bias. That means this junction is forward bias. Due to this forward bias junction, this negative terminal is connected to the n type region n-type has the majority of electrons. These electrons are repelled by this negative terminal and these electrons are entered into the base. Base is of p-type semiconductor material. It has the holes are the majority charge carriers. Some electrons are recombined with these holes to constitute the base current. Okay, and these electrons are transferred from emitter to base constitute the emitter current. Okay, I hope you all understand the process here. But in this process, that means these electrons from emitter are entered, but the base area is small and it is lightly doped. Only few electrons are recombined here and the remaining electrons are enter into the collector region. Okay, I hope you all understand the remaining number of large electrons, sorry, the remaining large number of electrons are entered into the collector region and constitutes the collector current. The size of the collector is large so that it can collect more charge carriers and can dissipate heat. The emitter current in NPN transistor is equal to the sum of base and collector current. Mathematically, it can be written as IE is equal to IB plus C. Okay, that means the whatever is the collector current is divided into two types, in base current and in collector current. See the working of PNP transistor. As shown in the diagram, the base emitter junction is forward bias while the collector base junction is reverse bias. The forward bias voltage VEB is small as compared to the reverse bias voltage VCB. That means in this diagram also the base emitter junction, that means this junction is forward bias. That means P type is connected to the positive terminal of the battery and N type is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. That means this junction is forward bias while this junction is reverse bias, means P type material is connected to the negative terminal of the battery and N type is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. But the difference is that VCB is much greater than VEB. Okay, now let's see next point. The emitter of the PNP transistor is heavily doped. When the forward bias is applied across the emitter, the majority charge carriers move towards the base. This causes the emitter current IE. That means when the forward bias is applied, then what happens? Positive terminal is connected to the p-type material. P-type has the holes as the majority. These majority holes are repelled by this positive terminal and gets entered into the base region to constitute the emitter current. Okay, the next is the holes enter into the n-type material and recombine with the electrons. The base of the PNP transistor is lightly doped and it has very small area, due to which only few holes are recombined with the electrons and they constitute the base current. Okay. Next, the remaining large number of holes are entered into the collector and constitutes the collector current. That means only some holes are recombined here with the electrons and large number of holes are entered into the collector, okay, to constitute the collector current. The size of the collector is large so that it can collect more charge carriers and can dissipate heat. The emitter current in PNP transistor is equal to the sum of base current and collector current. Mathematically, it can be written as IE is equal to IB plus IC. I hope you all understand the working of NPN and PNP transistor. Let's see once again the working of NPN transistor. The base emitter junction is forward bias and the collector base junction is reverse bias. Forward bias means N-type material is connected to the negative terminal, P-type material is connected to the positive terminal. While in this junction, N-type material is connected to the positive terminal and P-type material is connected to the negative terminal to make it reverse bias. Okay. Now what happens when we apply a forward bias across emitter base junction? These electrons are repelled by the negative terminal and enters into the base terminal. In this process, it constitutes emitter current. But the base area is very thin and it is lightly doped, hence, very small number of electrons are recombined with the holes in the p type material to constitute base current, but the remaining electrons are entered into the collector region due to attraction of this positive terminal. Okay. Hence, a large number of electrons enter into the collector to constitute the collector current. That means the emitter current is sum of base current and the collector current. I hope you all understand the working of NPN transistor. Similarly, we can see the working of the PNP transistor. In this transistor also, emitter base junction is forward bias and collector base junction is reverse bias. That means P type material is connected to the positive terminal, N type material is connected to the negative terminal. That means the forward bias. What is the operation? The operation is similar to the NPN transistor, that when we apply a forward bias, the holes from the p type entered into the base region. Only few holes are recombined here to constitute the base current. Remaining holes are entered into the collector to constitute the collector current. That means the emitter current is the sum of base current plus collector current. I hope you all understand the working of BJT. Thank you.